Hey there, students and parents. Lori here with an important announcement and update for our Rooted Youth Ministries here at UPVPC. As many of you have seen and already heard, we are beginning to reopen the building, reopen the campus in a way that is phased, in a way that is very intentional to protect you and your families. So with that being said, small groups are beginning to meet again on campus. And Rooted Youth will be able to meet on campus starting Wednesday, June 3rd. And we are going to stick with the same time that we've been doing for the past 12 weeks of 7 to 8 p.m. And we want to let you know that the safety of your student and the health of your family is of the utmost importance to us. So we are going to be putting in guidelines and safety measures so that we can help your students stay physically healthy while at the same time providing some spiritual nourishment so that we can all be spiritually healthy during this time. And so we also want to let you know that if you and your students are not yet ready to come back to the building, that is okay. We respect that decision as parents that you are making. So we respect that decision, and we want to let you know that we will still be continuing some online platforms, some online spaces for students to come hang out together, for students to learn, and for students just to connect with one another. And so we're going to be continuing some Friday night lunches, maybe alternating that a little bit, and some also YouTube videos to recap what we have talked about and sending more resources your way so that you can also talk to your students about what we're talking about on Wednesdays. We also want to let you know the 6 guidelines, the 6 areas in which we will be focusing our attention to help maintain your students' physical health. And so the first guideline that we are going to be putting in place is that we are asking that you drop off and pick up your student in the front parking lot by the assembly room doors. So youth group will either be outside or it will be in the assembly room. So this helps us limit foot traffic in the building. So it limits spaces where germs are. And it also helps us just consolidate so you guys have one easy spot to go to. You don't have to figure out, oh, what door do I have to go to today? But just go around to the front parking lot, the assembly room. The door will be propped open for your student to come in or will be congregated outside in the lawn. The second measure that we are going to work on is physical distancing. It's no longer social distancing because we're going to be social together. That's what youth group time is about, is that social time that we have together to learn about God and who God is and what God does in our lives. But we are going to be maintaining physical distancing. So as much as we possibly can, our programming will reflect this physical distancing. Our games will be more physical distant. How we are arranged seating will be more physically distant. So we are maintaining approximately 6 foot distance from our peers. Hygiene. Students are encouraged to practice good hygiene practices at home and while on campus. So hand sanitizing stations will be made available. We have lots of hand sanitizer ordered and will be here by next Wednesday so that we can practice those good hygiene practices while we are on campus. Food and drinks. Food and drinks has been an important part of youth ministry. If you feed them, they will come. However, with that being said, that is one way that we are really changing, is that we're really going to limit down food and drinks. So if we do have snacks, they will be individually packaged. So it'll just be individual baggies of something or something that is pre-packaged for your student. We are encouraging students to bring their own drinks, bring their own bottles of water, bottles of Gatorade, etc. That way we are limiting things that we are sharing and limiting things that we are equally touching. The 5th measure is stay at home if your student is not feeling well or is sick, or maybe even if someone if they've been in close contact with someone else who has not been feeling well. This just helps us to maintain these standards. All right. So as I said, alternative options will still continue. So if your student is sick and is unable to come for a week or two, then YouTube videos will be made available. We can still Zoom, things like that are still going to be available for your students if they cannot come. And lastly, the assembly room, which is the main area that we will be meeting inside, will be cleaned and sanitized regularly. As small groups use that space, when they're done, we're going to make sure everything is cleaned and sanitized and ready to go for the next group. I'm really looking forward to getting back together on campus and building those relationships with your students. Please, please, please pray a hedge of protection around this place. And as we do this prayer walk, please pray for the protection of our small groups as we begin to meet again. I just want to thank you for your patience. Thank you for helping your students get online. Thank you for your prayers. I know this has not been an easy time for many of you. And this has not necessarily been an easy time for our students either. But we know that God works all things for the good. We don't necessarily see it when it's happening, but looking back, we can see how our faith has grown, how we have grown spiritually, how we have matured, and how we have helped one another. And so as iron sharpens iron, a friend sharpens a friend. And so that is what we are seeking to do here at Rooted Youth, building those connections, those relationships, building those biblical foundations for your students to stand upon, so that when the storms of life come, like they have come, we can grow, that we can stand firm in our faith and in the knowledge that God is there, God is with us, even when we don't always feel it or see it. Thank you, parents. I am continually praying for you. Please pray for the church staff and for our Rooted Youth leaders, for Rodney and Marissa and Chris Walters and Daryl and Nick and myself, as we seek to invest in these students so that they will have a lifelong faith. Take care. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys on Sunday and some of you guys on Wednesday. Until then, God bless.